All right, let's start with this story for you. Mpho Phalatse is not at all worried about her position as Joburg mayor. She says motions of no confidence are the new normal in the metros. Today, the Joburg Council is debating another motion against the mayor tabled by the ANC. Phalatse was reinstated last month after challenging her removal in court. Let's go to our reporter, Moloko Moloto, who is monitoring council sitting today, and he joins us now live just to give us more details. Moloko, of course, we're waiting for that debate to take place in council, but a little earlier on, you were with the mayor herself. What did she say?
Well, indeed, Marcelo, just a slight correction there. The two motions of no confidence in the executive mayor of Johannesburg, Mpho Phalatse, are actually sponsored by the smaller parties, your ATM, your Patriotic Alliance. Now, as we speak, the council has been adjourned. That is because the ATM, one of the parties that sponsored this particular motion, or one of these two motions of no confidence in the executive mayor, requested for a 1-hour caucus. This is telling, because you would think that if they are ready, along with their partners, to indeed pass that or vote in favor of that motion of no confidence in the executive mayor, you would assume that actually they would want it to happen as soon as possible. So council is going to resume at about 11:30, but up to so far, and we understand that you will recall, Marcelo, that the total number of councillors in Johannesburg is 270, and in order for a motion of no confidence in the executive mayor to pass, it would require 135 votes plus 1, so that will make the majority. And we heard from the Speaker of Council saying that about 27 councillors are not in council today for one reason or another. Some are not feeling well. So that might, as much as I do not know the political parties those councillors belong to, because she did not specify the names, chances are that has actually disturbed the motion of no confidence, in that if it affects, or if some of the councillors from the smaller parties or the ANC-led bloc that wants to remove the mayor, some of them are not present here, that is certainly going to have a serious impact on their numbers, and chances are they may not be able to remove the mayor. Now, in the morning, at about 8:30, the executive mayor, Mpho Phalatse, held a media briefing, and she denies that was her farewell speech, because she did that shortly before she faced this pending motion of no confidence in her. And she was really trying to say, look, the situation when it comes to finances in our city is not pleasing, but it's not in a crisis mode yet. We are still able to pay salaries, to pay for VAT, and to pay service providers. This is despite the ANC saying it's in a crisis, it's on the brink of bankruptcy. Now, she did point out that, this issue of the smaller parties, along with the ANC who support those smaller parties, to put a motion of no confidence every now and then in the city, at some point has to come to a stop, because it kind of, like she believes, it disturbs governance. In Ekurhuleni, we are told that you cannot bring a motion of no confidence within 6 months. So she is suggesting that perhaps council should consider relooking into that. Let's listen to the executive mayor, Mpho Phalatse, speaking on this matter.
Was this a farewell speech? Absolutely not. My focus is not even on those motions of no confidence. I think we've come to a new normal in the city of Johannesburg, where with each council meeting you may face a motion of no confidence. We've come to get used to it as something we may need to deal with on a month-to-month basis. Of course, this is something we want to take to our Rules Committee. There's something wrong with that picture. In Parliament, as you know, you may not bring a motion of no confidence if it's defeated. You have to wait another 6 months before you can bring back another one. The rules of council need to be reviewed to ensure there's stability in our council. However, right now, my focus is service delivery. My focus is securing this loan for the 6 million residents of Johannesburg, so we can enable the city of Johannesburg as an institution to render the services that we've pledged to render to our residents, and we can do good by our workers as well, pay their salaries, pay our service providers. That is the focus. So no, definitely not a farewell speech, but of course it is a memorable day. It was this day a year ago that I took over this office that I sat here for the first time as the newly elected mayor in the city of Johannesburg. How confident am I? Again, it is a numbers game. We've got the multi-party government, and our partners are on site. We've got 6 political parties.
And Moloko, she also touched on the city's finances, also, having some tough talk in terms of, businesses and government institutions that owe the city.
So, Masero, just quickly for our viewers who may not know what the mayor was talking about when she talks about the loan. This is a 2 billion rand loan which the executive, led by the executive mayor, wants to apply to the Development Bank of Southern Africa so that it can keep the city's finances, in good shape. And the opposition, the ANC, the PA, and other parties, EFF, voted against that particular report. In other words, without council approval, she cannot go and borrow that money. And you get a sense that she desperately wants that 2 billion rand to keep the municipality afloat. Now, she then went on to say that the municipality is struggling really to collect revenue, and there are various factors. The economy that has affected negatively the customers who are unable to pay, but also she's saying there's just a perverse culture of non-payment, saying that in 1994, at the dawn of democracy, people were promised free services and they were never educated to say for a municipality to be sustainable, as residents, as consumers of these services, they must pay for them. So she's saying those are just the challenges. But she also says some of the government departments in Gauteng are not paying for the services that they are consuming, and she singled out the Department of E-Governance, which she says I think they paid some of the millions that they owed, but more depressingly is the Department of Health, and it is responsible for hospitals and clinics in this part of the country. She is saying that the department owes the municipality about 240 million rand, and she has written a letter to them that if they don't pay by Friday, they are going to terminate those services. She says she has written to the new premier, Banyazali Sufi. I'm told she did this sometime on the 15th or the 16th of November. The premier hasn't responded, but she's saying either way, if by Friday that money is not in the kitty of the municipality, they are going to cut the services, and inevitably this will affect services in hospitals and clinics. Let's listen to the executive mayor.
Yeah, we believe that there is an element of taking advantage of the municipality by the provincial government, because we're not quick to cut off services from a hospital. It's difficult. It's a moral issue, and we believe that they are taking advantage of that. And unfortunately, it's costing our residents. It's not fair. Our residents deserve to get that money into the city and get the services that they should be getting from that money. So unfortunately, we have written to the Premier. He has not responded. We will continue to reach out. But in the meantime, we've issued those termination notices, and if there's no movement, we'll unfortunately have to cut.
All right, Moloko Moloto at the Joburg City Council. We'll catch up with you a little later on as soon as there's an update.